No Clark Bridge today. Oh, 9:02. Happy Monday to all of you, Daily Show. On the 16th day of February, it's President's Day. Hope you guys' weekend was a good one. I know that ours was, and really excited to dive right back into it. You know, coming up today, we're going to be talking to the Alton Symphony Orchestra and getting the latest from Sips and Strings. That's coming down the pipeline in just a couple of weeks, and we'll get all the details and so much more. And then, like I said, have your daily dose of local, dive back into the news. If you guys were in Warden this weekend, or you made it down to St. Louis, or hung around the 618, like I said, hope it was a good one. Here's what you need to know. Download the RiverBender.com app today. Never miss out. Join myself and thousands of people with breaking news notifications, weather alerts, you name it, right there from your mobile device. We'll take you to Belleville first. A Belleville man facing 5 felony charges after police say he stole more than $500,000 in brass and copper from Wheeland and East Alton. Here's what we know. Joseph Bevenu, 44 years of age, charged February the 5th with 4 counts of theft, 2 Class 1 felonies and 2 Class 3 felonies, along with 1 Class 4 felony count of drug possession. Investigators allege that between October the 1st and December the 12th, 2025, Bevenu used deception to obtain 4 coils or sheets of yellow brass and 31 coils or sheets of copper. He also is accused of deceptively obtaining batteries from MH Equipment and possessing cocaine. He was granted pretrial release and will keep you updated every step of the way. Also in the news today, Alton police have charged Chance Snedden, 20 years of age, with 2 counts of aggravated battery and additional misdemeanor offenses after an incident involving a pregnant victim. Prosecutors allege that on February the 9th, Snedden intentionally struck the victim's vehicle multiple times while closely following her, causing her pain to her head and knee. Authorities say he knew the victim was 7 months pregnant. He is also accused of threatening the same victim by displaying a knife during an argument before pursuing her after she left a residence. Court records also state his driver's license was suspended. We'll keep you updated on this trial as well through Dalton Brown at RiverBender.com/news. Also in the news today, all area ferries are back in service after ice conditions earlier this winter forced closures and schedule changes along the river. On February the 13th, the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office reported the Brussels Ferry, Campsville Ferry, and Golden Eagle Ferry all are open. The update follows that cold spell in January that brought heavy ice to local rivers, with temperatures and wind chills hovering near zero for several days. The Campsville Ferry shut down starting January the 23rd due to that heavy ice, and the Brussels Ferry also closed the evening of the 23rd. You can see a full recap on those ferries reopening in detail at RiverBender.com/news. Also in the news today, a Cahokia Heights woman is in custody after authorities say a Cahokia School District 187 employee received repeated telephone threats. Here's what we know. The St. Clair County Sheriff's Department says it was contacted at 2:30 p.m. on February the 6th about threats made to a school at 1900 Musette Lane. Investigators identified Rochelle L. Tate as the caller, allegedly upset about a conversation the employee had with her child. Deputies say Tate threatened to shoot the employee and then called the school more than 30 additional times. She was arrested at her home without incident and later charged with felony disorderly conduct. Also in the news today, Chief Investigator of the Madison County State's Attorney's Office, Lee Braceo, is recovering in a Chicago hospital after doctors amputated a foot that was injured in an on-duty crash 8 years ago. The surgery was performed on Thursday, the 12th of February, at the Gottlieb Memorial Hospital. It's part of Loyola Medicine, and his surgeon said it went well. He's set to start physical therapy the next day. The injury traces back to a 2018 collision while he was a Pontoon Beach police officer when a pickup swerved into his lane and hit his patrol car. He plans to receive a prosthesis and hopes to return to duty. A full story on that as well in our news section. The best of luck on your recovery. Finally, in the news today, residents at Villa Rose Senior Living Community in Bethalto, they recently celebrated Valentine's Day with their 4th annual senior prom. Staff dressed in suits and prom gowns as residents danced to live music from Chuck Cannon, with many bringing dates and reminiscing about their own high school proms. For some, it was a chance to experience prom for the first time. The evening also featured a popular steak dinner and bread pudding, prepared from scratch in Villa Rose's kitchen. Executive Director Cindy Cannon said the goal is engagement, friendship, and renewed purpose. This year's prom king and queen were Cindy and Harry Mack. Congratulations on your win there at the senior prom, and just a great story there by Sydney Sinks. You can see that one again in our news section. That's a look at what we're following this Monday morning as we're all getting back to it today. Right now, it's 44 degrees in downtown Alton. Feels like it's 48. Humidity at 90%. Now, the fog should be lifting if it hasn't already, and the rest of the day just partly sunny and warmer. Air quality is at moderate today with 62, and mold's low. You might need to take a Claritin just to get you feeling right today. Temperatures do reach 66 degrees and drop down to 41. The next 4 days look great. On Tuesday, a high of 61, a low of 56, and on Wednesday, a high of 70, a low of 42. On Thursday, we have an 80% chance of rain, and it could become a drenching thunderstorm even is what they're calling for in the afternoon. A high of 67 Thursday, a low of 38 degrees as we head into Friday. And then with that rain, that's going to bring back temperatures to colder conditions, back to what we should be expecting this time of the year. On Friday, a high of 49, a low of 32, and that's a look, my friends, at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. 44 degrees in downtown Alton. Looks nice out there, sunny skies. We can't see it yet because the sky cam ain't working, but that's okay. You can stay up to date in real time all the time by downloading the RiverBender.com weather today, or just by calling 618-465-4545, this time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. Hey, while I have you, so, really had a great conversation with the folks over there at ADS St. Louis. They were on the show a couple of days ago, and I had a great question because they were talking about their security assessments, and I said, so does that mean you break into somebody's business and tell them what, they could do better at? Not really. But, in a way, they're going to really dissect your property. Whether or not, you're in the commercial spaces and you're in more of that, strip mall setting, or if you have, land that your facilities are on that you need secure. ADS is there for everybody. We know that American Digital Security, they've been there forever and just providing great service. And now what I think so cool is that ADS St. Louis is bringing their security roadshow right over here to Woods River at Rustic Roots. This is going to be big. So you can join them for live security technology showcases where you can see live product demos and hands-on technology, presentation from leading security manufacturers, plus a lunch, happy hour, and one-on-one time with those experts. And there's also a raffle to even win 4 Blues tickets while you're there. What I think's so cool, when we talk security systems and, really getting a look, some of those systems get pricey, especially for small and medium-sized businesses, and that's why having them on the show and hearing how this is really tailored for, the businesses of the Riverbend, it for all sizes, where you can really get some keen insights on ways that you can really help protect yourself. You can find out more by clicking on the RiverBender.com wallpaper, or we'll just see you there. February the 26th, 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. This is at Rustic Roots, 200 West Ferguson in Woods River. We'll see you there at the ADS St. Louis Security Roadshow. More on the RiverBender.com wallpaper. Quick break, and we'll come back and chat it up for a little bit. You stay there. I'll be here, RiverBender.com, Roku TV.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
When you need a project done right, on budget, and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation. Welcome back. 9:17. So it is President's Day. There's a couple of things I got to fill you in on, but first, there's some interesting facts about presidents. And so here's a couple of them. But my point I'm going to make is I was just having a conversation with Lacey. I always say that, just 6 months ago. but it was sometime within the last year. And just, and it was on the air, and just about, how, the founding fathers operated, and how, we look back at, the heroes of the world, like the Winston Churchills, and, and just, whether it's alcohol consumption or all throughout time, what really, was it their sober mind that thought of it? I have a point to make on that in a second. It is President's Day, though. And, I decided, what are some pretty interesting facts about U.S. presidents? Did you guys know that George Washington was an enthusiastic dog breeder, primarily of hunting dogs? He would give them names like Drunkard and Sweet Lips. There you go. That's your first one for you. I just saw that and thought that was interesting. And then, so Martin Van Buren, I don't know if you guys knew this, was the first president to be born an American, if that makes sense, because all previous were originally British subjects, before the Revolution, because they were born prior to 1776. Found that interesting, too. But here's where I find it really interesting. So, I'm a big presidential history guy. I just think it's very fascinating. And I've always been fascinated about the alcohol consumption of the original presidents, and just, not even just the, founding fathers or, the original first 5 presidents, but also just throughout history, the biggest, I guess you could say, the biggest drinkers that were world leaders or, world influences. So there's been a list compiled, and I wanted to share it with you. So what about John Adams? I think he's one of the most underrated presidents of all time. Still do. Think he's one of the best. He achieved many things before and during his presidency. And he may have done many of them while just ever so slightly drunk. So Adams had a fondness for drinking, but he was especially fond of hard cider, which he described as refreshing. He picked up the habit of drinking at Harvard, so much so that he drank it every day for breakfast for most of his life. That's incredible. So during the course of the First Continental Congress, he was also thoroughly inebriated. He told his wife, "We go to Congress at 9 and we stay there, mostly earnestly engaged until 3 in the afternoon. Then we adjourn and go to dinner with some of the nobles of Pennsylvania at 4 o'clock and feast on 10,000 delicacies, and they're drinking wine till 6 or 7. Find that fascinating. Martin Van Buren, same way. So, he had a reputation for really holding it in. Didn't really show the signs of being intoxicated. Van Buren's presidency was marred by numbers of disasters, such as the financial panic of 1837, most notably the Trail of Tears. Well, during all of this, too, Van Buren was never seeming drunk, even though he was nicknamed Blue Whiskey Van. That's incredible. So he tells people he drank so much wine, port Madeira, and he had a bad case of gout in his 50s. And he was self-reflective of his dangers of alcoholism later in life when he warned his son about him. So what about this? I mean, it's just very fascinating. And there's so many more. They say Franklin Pierce was the one that was the biggest drinker, but apparently George Washington's inauguration bill was just crazy too. It's just the fact to me, though, like when they're sitting there, the founding fathers, and they're talking about, the Constitution they're getting ready to create, or they're ready to sign the Declaration. We'll just start back then. Go into the step 1. Getting everybody in whenever they find a way to get into town. They all didn't sign it at the same time. We know that. But, they're sitting there. And how many of these problems could have been averted, between like colonies, bashing it out over what they felt was best? If thought one, no one was drunk. Or thought 2, how much of the drinking solved the problem, and gave us the confidence to go, you know what, we're taking them on. We're taking the British on. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong on my theory. I think that I'm pretty close. But anyway, yeah, Franklin Pierce considered the heaviest drinker ever. One thing I did see before I moved back to local news and stuff that I thought was pretty interesting. is that the White House Historical Association put together some of the interesting components of the presidents in the White House. Like Rutherford B. Hayes was the first president to have a telephone or a typewriter. And then, Mary Todd Lincoln held seances in the Red Room of the White House to communicate with the spirits of her loved ones. So, there's just so many interesting, just anecdotal things from the U.S. presidents and just, whether it's from their personal life or that side of, just who they are or a contribution they made, like, having the bowling alley put in or the golf course, so many interesting things. You can find out more on them throughout. There's a ton of really interesting articles if you want to. I'm not going to read you all 45 facts because, we don't need to do that today. There is something really important, though, I wanted to fill you in on, and this is really a fascinating story. This came out over the weekend on RiverBender. It's one that I really encourage you to check out if you're interested in news. This is out of St. Louis. So 5 individuals, they were federally indicted this week for their roles in an alleged $220 million nationwide fraud scheme involving purported cattle purchase contracts, and that was announced by United States Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, Ryan Raybould. There were several indictments. Jed Wood of Fort Worth, Texas, and Joshua Link of Stratford, Missouri, Tia Link of Smithton, Missouri, Taylor Bang of Kilder, North Dakota, and Rayona Thomas of Arlington, Texas. Here's what they had to say. Thousands of unwitting investors, ranchers, and others in the cattle industry nationwide, they were drawn in and victimized by the defendant's multi-million-dollar scheme alleged in this indictment. My office is in concert with our law enforcement partners, and we will hold these defendants accountable. That's from U.S. Attorney Ryan Raybould. The defendants allegedly used false promises to lure prospective clients into their scheme and then misappropriated clients' funds to enrich themselves. One individual, Joshua Robert Link, remains a fugitive at the time of the publication. We are asking the public to contact the FBI if they have any more information regarding Link's location. That was stated by FBI Special Agent in Charge Joseph Rothrock. As alleged in the indictment, each of the defendants were associated with Agridime LLC, a business that was headquartered in Fort Worth that offered cattle sales and meat processing and retail services to the public. The indictment alleges that from January 21st through December 23rd, the 5 defendants acting through the company perpetrated a fraud scheme in which they falsely represented to individual cattle purchasers, cattle ranchers, and feedlots that Agridime would use their funds to purchase specific individual cattle for each victim, raise that cattle, and eventually sell the meat for the same specific individual cattle for a profit. Now, in reality, as the indictment charges, the defendants did not use the funds as promised, and instead used newer cattle purchaser funds to pay Agridime operating expenses, pay funds owned by Agridime to earlier cattle purchasers, and pay personal expenses and purchase real property. They collected more than $220 million from over 2,200 people. If convicted, the defendants face up to 20 years in federal prison on each wire fraud count for which they are indicted for, as well as 20 years imprisonment for the charged wire fraud conspiracy. Tia Link and Taylor Bang appeared for arraignment before a U.S. magistrate judge, and both were released under pretrial supervision. Jed Wood, Rayona Thomas, set to appear for arraignment in Fort Worth before a United States magistrate judge on the 25th. Those are the individuals from Missouri. And like I said, at the time of the posting, Joshua Robert Link remains a fugitive. Just a really, and you can see the photo of him on RiverBender, and you can help the FBI, but just an interesting story. Whenever it comes to fraud schemes like this, $220 million in a cattle fraud scheme. That's just incredible, and all the wrong reasons, and really one that I'm going to follow just to see how it plays out. Hey, a really good story here out of our area. East St. Louis School District 189 recognized a slate of grade-level champions from its district spelling bee and wanted to praise their students for their dedication and preparation over the week. The district announced the winners in a message that celebrated academic excellence across our schools, and it listed champions in 3 divisions in 3rd and 4th grade, 5th and 6th, and 7th and 8th. In the 3rd and 4th grade division, the district named Terrence Sawyer of James Avant, Desaiah Scotta Paul, Lawrence Dunbar, and Josanda Lister of Wavetter Young School of Excellence as winners. In 5th and 6th grade, the winners were Olivia Johnson McNeely of Wavetter Young School of Excellence, Asha Taggart of James Avant, and Michaela Washington of Mason Clark. In 7th and 8th grade, the district listed Devin Westbrook of Lincoln, Aiden Mumford of Wavetter Young School of Excellence, and Kenzel Weber of Wavetter Young School of Excellence. You can see those photos and more of the write-up at RiverBender.com, but really just great to see area students and school districts excelling. Before I take a quick break, and we'll come back and chat some more up, and then we got Alton Symphony Orchestra coming on the show this President's Day. Wanted to fill you in that road closures did start just a couple of minutes ago. They were scheduled, weather permitting, on Illinois 111. The outside lanes at the new I-270 Illinois 111 interchange going to be closed. One lane will remain open to traffic through the work zone, and the work on 111 is expected to be completed by the end of the week. That is weather permitting. It looks pretty good for that. On westbound I-270, 2 lanes will be closed between Illinois 255 and Illinois 111. 1 lane will remain open to traffic. The work is expected to be completed in 1 day. These lane closures, they're a part of ongoing work associated with the recently completed I-270 Illinois 111 interchange reconstruction, and motorists should expect delays here and are encouraged to use alternate routes during the lane closure, reduce your speeds, stay off your cell phones, and keep all the workers there safe. For more information, you can visit the Traveler's Information Map at gettingaroundillinois.com. A quick break, we'll come back.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential Commercial and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
.933, welcome back, Daily Show. I'm going to be talking to Alton Symphony Orchestra here soon. A couple of things I wanted to fill you in on. We'll get to I'm going to start with these ones first. So there's been a serial thief stealing items from this school in New Zealand for over a year. It's included towels, shoes, even underwear. Well, after over a year of an investigation, Marama Stewart, the principal of the Apanu School in Wakatani, I'm going to go with it, said items been mysteriously disappearing from the school for over a year, particularly while the pool was in use. And, the literal definition of a cat burglar comes into play. The school posted the video on Facebook when the thief was finally caught on security camera, showing the black cat dragging a large towel across the playground. She said the school's groundkeeper did make contact with the cat's owner, who confirmed their pet was a notorious thief. See, I have an issue with that. So they know about this and they're letting it happen. I think you ticket the cat owners. She said the thefts are a learning opportunity. That's what the principal said. Well, there you go. What about this one? So, speaking of cats, in turbulent political times, stability comes with 4 legs, whiskers, and a fondness for napping. We're talking about Larry the cat here. If you guys don't know, he's celebrating 15 years as the British government's official rodent catcher and unofficial first feline. It's a reassuring presence as he served under 6 prime ministers. Oh my God. And you know what? That is the best equation to how life is right now. You got a cat that catches rats and mice for 15 years, and he's already been through 6 prime ministers. That's incredible. So, it's a rags to riches story. Listen to this. This is interesting. He was taken in as a stray on the streets to Britain's seat of power, 10 Downing Street, where he bears the official title Chief Mouser to the Cabinet Office. He was adopted from London's Battersea Dogs and Cats home by Prime Minister David Cameron. Larry entered Downing Street on February the 15th. Wow. So his duties include greeting the guests for the house, inspecting security defenses, and testing antique furniture. So there you go. Larry roams free and has a knack for upstaging world leaders. So Larry's met so many of them, so sometimes have to step over or around him. It's been observed that he is largely unfriendly to men. Even though he liked former President Barack Obama, and he drew a smile from President Vladimir Zelensky on one of the Ukrainian leader's visits to London, but apparently hates men. That's good to know. When President Trump visited in 2019, Larry crashed the official doorstep photo and took a nap under the beast. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Have you guys seen Veep, right? Have you guys seen this with Julie Louis-Dreyfus? It's a great show. Could you imagine if you're the Secret Service agent and you have to get the beast ready to go, and president's meeting with the prime minister, it's time to go to another meeting. So you got to get the cars ready. You start the car and you hear a loud squeal and you realize that you started the car with Larry in it, type of thing. Man, what national news. So reports of Larry's actual skills when it comes to his job, they're varying. He does occasionally snag a mouse and once a pigeon that he let go. That's pretty funny. So they did this whole thing. It's a write-up. But really it's a fun way to, I guess, for British officials to kind of symbolize that it's a nonpartisan official pet. And it sets them apart, of course, from the Americans who have to have dogs in the White House. That first dog, the British government says, no, we're having a nonpartisan animal in 10 Downing Street. You can see that through our partnership with the Associated Press. I saw that and just thought it was a neat one. Back to some local stories that I think are really neat today. A lifelong Bethalto Community Unit School District number 8 educator received some major recognition at Civic Memorial High School. On February the 13th, CM officially renamed its student commons after Willard Wallace, a former principal and well-known community member who has built a legacy of service in Bethalto. Staff and community members filled the Willard Wallace Student Commons with applause as a tearful Wallace accepted the recognition. She says, I don't know I can say anything other than that as wow. This has been my life. I grew up here. I was standing here before this building was built. We toured it, the assistant superintendent and me and a couple of other people. This was just dirt then. It's great. These people showing up like this is just wonderful. The commons were packed with Bethalto residents and former students who have been impacted by Wallace. Principal Justin Newell introduced Wallace and spoke about his work as principal, teacher, coach, and friend. He noted that Wallace went above and beyond to support students and do everything he could to help the community, even going as far to pick up litter along the roads in the 1980s. Todd Laux, served as the ceremony's featured speaker. He shared that he moved to Bethalto at the age of 15 and Wallace was his principal. In this role, Wallace mentored him, told him again and again that he believed he could be a leader. Laux then recalled when Wallace welcomed former CM principal Deborah Pitts to Bethalto, a story that he believes epitomizes Wallace as a person. When Bethalto residents reacted to Pitts' appointment with racism and sexism, Wallace visited her to gift her a CM hat. After the ceremony, Pitts expressed her appreciation for Wallace and noted that his kindness was the best introduction to her new role. The featured speaker also added that his own life likely could have gone in a different direction if it was not for Wallace's unfaltering kindness towards him. He thanked Wallace and other educators in attendance, encouraging them to think, WWWD, what would Willard Wallace do when dealing with students who need that extra push? You can see a full write-up on this really great story at RiverBender.com. And just, like I said, a really great recognition right there from CM to Willard Wallace. Also in the news, Dan Brandon reporting that a fundraiser has been organized by Morgan Stewart seeking financial support for Ashley Gendry, a healthcare worker and mother of 4 who, according to the fundraiser, is facing mounting medical needs and bills after a work-related injury and an assault by a patient. The fundraiser says Gentry has been worked in healthcare for 11 years and has faced more challenges than anyone ever should over the past 2, while continuing to put patients and her team first. According to the description, she suffered a serious work-related injury that required major back surgery last year, keeping her out of work for more than 12 weeks. The fundraiser says that after she returned, ongoing complications led to additional unscheduled time off. The fundraiser also says she was later assaulted by a patient while trying to prevent the patient from eloping. The description states she was punched in the face and now requires jaw surgery and neck surgery. Ashley made the following comments about her situation. You never think it could happen to you while at work. I was assaulted by a patient. I was knocked out, and thankfully, I don't remember much. But now I suffered a broken jaw and 4 herniated discs in my neck. I started with surgery to repair my neck. Then if everything goes okay, in 3 or 4 months, we can start talking about jaw surgery, which I'll get plates on each side. My jaw issues makes it hard to eat, talk, chew, and do anything. I have been wearing a brace in my mouth and seems to help a little. I know a lot of people are struggling right now in their own ways. If you can't help, please just share this post. That is enough. The description asks for donations no matter what size, and you can see more on this write-up at RiverBender.com/news. Hey, while I have you, I wanted to fill you in on my friend Ben and Precision Point Armory. Great guy. You know, every time I talk to him, it's just, you can always tell when somebody knows what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying here? And, I know my hairspray's falling out today, but, let me tell you something. When I talk with Ben every time, it's not a sales pitch. You get what I'm saying? It's just knowledge. It's just a background. It's just a conversation. It's because Ben's been doing this for 30 years, and he's worked with everybody of all backgrounds when it comes to firearms and firearm training. If you need your concealed carry class, Precision Point Armory. If you need to renew your concealed carry, Precision Point Armory. If you want to take one of their classes just like this on their website, precisionpointarmory.net, you can see all of them right now by clicking on book a class, and you can get that one-on-one training, some dry fire training, or if you really need some maintenance and knowledge classes, they got that too. You bring your family in, make sure you all are practicing safe firearm training and really doing this the right way. They have a safety session. Ben does all of this right here in the 618 from all different backgrounds, and he can train you too. Go to precisionpointarmory.net today. You can see all these great services, and you can book your time with Ben. That's precisionpointarmory.net, precisionpointarmory.net, and don't forget to tell them you know who sent you over their way.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices.
Welcome back. 9:48. We wanted to fill you in real quick. Just an update for you. Chris Rhodes has this one. Firefighters from Woods River, East Alton, and Roxana battled an intense yard and shed fire Thursday afternoon. It spread across multiple properties in Woods River. Here's that update for you, for all of you that were curious and wanting to know more. Woods River Fire called at about 1 p.m., 12:56 on Thursday, to a blaze that ultimately involved yards in the 700 block of Purvis and the corner of the 600 block of Maurice. That's from Woods River Deputy Fire Chief Nate Camp. At one point, 4 yards and 3 sheds were involved in this blaze. Camp also said a neighbor reported seeing a fire next door, and the first arriving Woods River Fire unit found the blaze already out of control, Camp said. He detailed multiple privacy fences were involved in East Alton positioned at Maurice to get a line in place. East Alton and Roxana joined the scene in the initial minutes, adding that there are so many tasks to be done. He commended the Woods River, East Alton, and Roxana fire departments for a job well done in a difficult fire situation. Also, in the news today, wanted to fill you in here out of Edwardsville. First grade students at Midway Elementary School got to do something really cool with their teacher. They celebrated the Lunar New Year, and their teacher spent 5 years teaching in China. Her name's Chelsea Phipps, a first grade teacher at Midway. She explained to Sydney Sinks upstairs that she wanted to share the experiences she had in China with her students in the Edwardsville class. Students have spent the past week reading and learning about the Lunar New Year, and on the 13th of February, they created a paper lantern craft, enjoying oranges as a snack, and received a traditional red packet as a gift. She said, "I'm happy to do it. I really love that with my experience being in China. I can now bring it back and share it with them and hopefully encourage them not just to think small, think Edwardsville, but think outside of the box, think the world, and just be more loving to everyone." Phipps explained that she taught kids from ages 2 through 3rd grade in China. She traveled to Asia, expecting to be there for a year, but when COVID hit, she was quarantined in China and decided to make the best of it and spent the next 5 years teaching and learning across the globe. She was eager to bring back some of the traditions and cultural experiences to Edwardsville. Her students have learned a lot about global citizenship and tolerance through her lessons. Phipps taught the students how to bow to show respect and gratitude as she handed out the red packets. She also demonstrated how to create a paper lantern, which was a major hit. Students enjoyed working with her to celebrate the Lunar New Year while also learning more about the world around them. You can see a full write-up, and you can see the photos that are available at RiverBender.com and Sydney's news story right there at the bottom of the article. And like I said, you can find out more right there in the news section. Also, out of Edwardsville, this is really exciting. Edwardsville High School sophomore Madison Klein has been selected to represent the United States at the Friendship Cup in Turkey from February the 16th, that's today, through the 27th, after being selected to compete with the U.S. 16 girls national team. That's incredible. For Klein, this tournament is another step towards a lifelong dream. She says, "The dream I've always had is to play on the national team, and obviously when I was younger, I didn't know about the youth national team, but I always knew I wanted to play on the women's national team and play on TV. So this is the first step to that." Klein's no stranger to soccer. Her father played in college and her mother in high school. Klein played recreationally before joining St. Louis Scott Gallagher. Earning a spot on the national team is not like a traditional tryout. Players are scouted at showcases and called into camps when coaches believe they're needed. Klein received her first call-up in November 2024 and since has traveled to training camps in Atlanta and California and played matches in Germany and England. She plays center back and has already gained valuable international experience. For a high school student balancing schoolwork and international travel, I think that could be a bit tricky. She's learned to manage by speaking with her teachers and completing as much as work as possible in advance of the due dates of the assignments. Klein has faced some of the world's top youth soccer programs already. In Germany, she played against the Netherlands and the host nation, Germany. In England, she faced the English squad twice. Now in Turkey, she'll add Spain and Denmark to that list. In addition to the competition, she is also looking forward to seeing the palm trees and enjoying the weather. And she described it as it will be in the 60s as perfect for soccer weather. For now, Klein is focused on making the most of each opportunity, knowing that nothing is guaranteed. And really just a cool recognition and congratulations on that for getting selected to the U.S. national team, the U16 team. We're a couple minutes away from talking to Alton Symphony Orchestra. And with that being said, let's do that. We'll take a quick break now, and then we'll come back and do our little bit of a news brief and then get ASO going. You guys stay there, and I'll be here. We'll come back and fill you in on a 6th grade teacher in Jersey Community Unit School District, number 100, that's being recognized for doing some great things. More in a minute.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your your space today.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Amrit, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors.
Welcome back, 9:58. Before we talk to ASO, just a quick note for you. Great recognition out of Jerseyville. Sorry, the dog took off from Jackie. She's cleaning the house. She's off for President's Day. And the dog took off from her and decided just to lay in the neighbor's yard. I guess he had enough. Oh, that was stressful. But congratulations to Christy Schilling. Listen to this. Received the award of Meritorious Service in the classroom teacher category through the Illinois State Board of Education's Those Who Excel Awards. Love to see this. In a statement, the school district said it was proud to recognize 6th grade teacher Christy Schilling for receiving this award. The dedication, passion for teaching, and commitment to helping every student succeed, adding she goes above and beyond each day to create a positive learning environment for the students. She feels supported, challenged, and valued. Really cool. You can see a full write-up on RiverBender.com/news. The stories we're following today are as follows. The first being the copper and metal theft out of Wheeland. A Belleville man facing 5 felony charges after police say he stole more than $500,000 in brass and copper from Wheeland and East Alton. Joseph Bevenu, 44, charged on February the 5th with 4 counts of theft, 2 Class 1 felonies, 2 Class 3 felonies, and a Class 4 felony count for drug possession. That's how we'll start our top of the hour news, as it's officially 10 o'clock in downtown Alton. Investigators allege that between October the 1st and December the 12th, he used deception to obtain 4 coils or sheets of yellow brass and 31 coils of copper. He is also accused of deceptively obtaining batteries from equipment and possessing cocaine. He's granted pretrial release. All defendants presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also in the news today, all ferries are back in service in Calhoun County after icy conditions earlier this winter forced closures for over 2 weeks. On February the 13th, the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office reported that Brussels, Campsville, and Golden Eagle ferries are all open. The update follows a cold spell in January that brought heavy ice to local rivers, with temperatures and wind chills hovering near zero for several days. The Campsville ferry shut down starting early January the 23rd due to heavy ice. The Brussels ferry followed closely thereafter on the 23rd. The Golden Eagle stopped operating January the 22nd because of those hazardous conditions, but all are back and operational now. Also in the news today, a Cahokia Heights woman is in custody after authorities say a Cahokia School District 187 employee received repeated telephone threats. Here's what we know. The St. Clair County Sheriff's Department says it was contacted at 2:30 p.m. on the 6th about the threats made to a school in the 1900 area of Mosette Lane. Investigators identified Rochelle L. Tate as the caller, allegedly upset about a conversation the employee had with her child. Deputies say Tate threatened to shoot the employee and then called the school more than 30 additional times. She was arrested at her home without incident and later charged with felony disorderly conduct. Also in the news today, Residents at Villa Rose Senior Living Community in Bethalto recently celebrated Valentine's Day with their 4th annual senior prom. Staff dressed in suits and prom gowns as residents danced to live music from Chuck Cannon, with many bringing dates and reminiscing about their own high school proms. For some, it was a chance to experience prom for the first time. That's incredible. The evening also featured a popular steak dinner and bread pudding prepared from scratch in Villa Rose's kitchen. Executive Director Cindy Cannon said the goal is engagement, friendship, and renewed purpose. This year's prom king and queen for Villa Rose, Cindy and Harry Mack. And that's a look at the stories we're following around the Riverbend today. 50 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 55. My allergies are not doing good. Maybe it's my sinuses. Air quality at 62, which is moderate, and the mold count's low at 330. Other than that, temperatures reached 66 degrees today and dropped down to 41 overnight as we head into Tuesday. On Tuesday, a high of 61, a low of 55 degrees, and on Wednesday, a high of 70, a low of 42. On Thursday, a 55% chance of rain, a high of 67, a low of 35, and with that rain and that thunderstorm will bring some colder temperatures. Not too bad, though. On Friday, a high of 46 and a low of 28 degrees. That's a look at your next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. It's 50 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 55 out there. For time and temperature throughout the day, call 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. You can also stay up to date in real time all the time by downloading the RiverBender.com app today. We're still having issues with our Skycam out there on our Riverbender weather page. That'll be up soon. Hey, while I have you, though, let me fill you in on Precision TMS. You know, great company, a great organization, and another great way that we can help ourselves in a new form of medicine. You know, maybe you've been someone that's battled OCD, depression, for years, decades, and you're on a prescription medication. It helps because you're staying maybe balanced out, but are you truly living your best life? Is there still that side effect in the way? With TMS, it's FDA cleared and it's backed by major insurance providers. This is magnetic stimulation for your brain. This isn't shock therapy. You can drive yourself to your own appointment. It's about 15 minutes sessions, and you're driving back home within 2 weeks just by talking to a few of the patients already, the few of the clients that are receiving this treatment. Within a few weeks, 2 weeks at most. It's not like all of a sudden, boom, colorful sky opens up, but you just realize, wow, everything's getting better, and you keep going back and it gets better and better, and you don't have to rely on that prescription medication. You're relying on a new form of medicine. You're relying on TMS. And what I think is great is in the next couple, after you start your sessions, within a few months, you're not going as frequently. And then you might go every, once in a while to go and, get checked up and make sure everything's still looking good. But there's been folks that have been in remission from this for years. And it's great to hear, hey, if you're a first responder out there, you work in the hospital setting, you're a teacher, you're a veteran, they have something called the Heroes Program at TMS, at Precision TMS, and they'll help you every step of the way and give you some savings on this treatment. You can find out more by going to precisiontms.org. This is the website, precisiontms.org. And don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Show. Welcome back. 10. Man, I have been on time with guests lately. Wow. How are we been? How's life?
Pretty good.
I haven't talked to ASO in a couple of months.
It's been a while, man.
Well, you guys are getting ready to go into a little bit of a busy time. You got Sips and Strings on the 20th, and then 8 days later, we're going in right to another great concert.
Yep.
So, Melissa, you're the treasurer for the organization, and you guys really just do fantastic work throughout the year. It's really cool to know that there's an opportunity for all of us to come together on the 20th and, raise some funds for what you guys do. There's so many great programs and services that are provided. Where should we start for Sips and Strings?
Sure. So Sips and Strings is our annual wine tasting fundraiser. It's being held at Rustic Roots this year. That's our first year at this venue, which we're looking forward to. They've done such a great thing with that place.
Yeah, I've heard. I haven't been inside yet.
I was able to get there for their open house a couple months ago, and it's just beautiful in there.
No kidding. I just had on one of the owners of it, I believe, and just fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 6 to 8 p.m. this Friday. Like I said, it's our 4th annual event. It's become our biggest fundraiser. So it's important for it to keep growing because we rely on fundraisers and donations to keep our ticket sales low.
Yeah. And you're a 501c3.
We are, yes.
And that means, guys, come on now. It's if you already filed, it's time for next year already to make those contributions. But on top of that, Melissa, take us through what those funds go towards as well.
Sure. So we have a number of scholarship opportunities. We do like handwritten scholarship application every fall, and we reward 2 students with money to take private lessons. Mm-hmm. One is based on community service and one is based on financial need. So no matter who you are, you could apply for either. We also then, which I'll talk about a little later with our concert, have a Marie Stillwell concerto competition, and we're able to award 3 students scholarships through that as well. So a good chunk of our money goes to that, as well as, of course, bringing music to the area.
And it's fantastic. And just the last couple of years that I've gotten to talk with the group and everyone from Shane all the way down, including yourself, it's just, hearing how, it's great to have low ticket prices,
right,
but to really uplift the next generation of musicians. And whether it's that competition, like you said, and then it ends up because I get an appearance with the
orchestra.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it leads to so many cool things, but also the scholarship opportunities. And then I know, just on this is separate, but even the endowment fund, and those different opportunities, it really provides a great foundation for younger musicians and artists.
Right. Yep.
Fantastic. And this is where our contributions can go, and I think it's a great thing to do. How were you a part of Alton Symphony Orchestra growing up, or did you utilize it? Or
so when I was middle school age, I was in the youth symphony.
Okay, cool.
And then in high school, I would play with Alton Symphony kind of as needed. Back then it was on the cello, so just if they needed somebody, they'd reach out, and Mrs. Plummer would say, "Hey, go play," and we did. So then I went off to college, came back, I joined a couple years. Then I had to step away. I had a job that required night shift sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But then once I got back on to a 9 to 5, I joined back. I believe that was in about 2015, and have been there ever since.
What did they do to help you? What did that mean to you as a student? Just take us through that impact, I guess.
Sure. So I mean, when I was young, I got one of the scholarships.
Did you really?
That
okay.
was nice. That helped with private lessons. And then in high school, playing with them, it's a different caliber than your high school orchestra. I mean, our high school orchestra was great, but it's a different scene when you get to Alton Symphony. You've got some professional musicians in there.
Some of the area's best. Yeah.
And then now it's just nice to still. I went to school originally for music. Then I changed paths. But so it's nice to still have the opportunity to play and be involved in the music.
I love it. And, this is where all things come back to sips and strings, the big old circle, I'm getting good at these, I think, coming back to it. It's on February the 20th. It's at 6 p.m. This is at Rustic Roots. And this is where you can sip on some wine. Keyword there, sip. Have some appetizers. I said that note for myself. Have some appetizers and listen to some nice music. Take us through you have a string quartet coming in?
Yes, we have a string quartet consisting of our concertmaster, Vincent Piazza, Sister Marie-Therese, Jill Hamill on viola, and Gary Lee on cello. So they will be playing, it's kind of more in the background, but some people do just come to watch them. Sister
Marie-Therese was my music teacher at St. Mary's. She is awesome.
Yes, she is.
She is fantastic. And, throughout it too, the appetizer's going to be there as well?
Yeah, so we'll have appetizers and desserts, so just kind of like light finger food, provided by Nosh House, which is a catering, she's at farmers markets, owned by Sydney Matthews, who used to be in our orchestra. So
fantastic.
Yep. We also will have some cookies provided by our violinist Kelsey Waits as well.
And tickets are $30. And now I like it because you don't really get a lot of those mixer type of events anymore, where you can just go and relax and just support. I think that's fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, and so the wine samples are provided by Corner Distributing through Dude Jones, so he'll have his team there. They usually have about 20 to 30 samples, and so you can sample 1, you can sample 5, or there are people that will spend the whole time making sure they get through that whole list. So.
Now, do we know what the appetizer menu is yet? Because I'm nosy.
I am not sure. I know she said there's going to be some hot options and then some like charcuterie type stuff. So
I don't know why, but I've been the biggest snacker lately. Like, I don't want to eat an actual meal. I just want to go and snack.
Yeah, this is the 3rd year I think she's done our food, and I mean they swarm it every year. So
now, do you guys get a pretty good turnout for Sips and Strings?
Yes. Like I said, it's grown every year. So last year was definitely our biggest year. We're hoping to surpass that. We do have. This will be, I think, our biggest space, I would guess.
Oh, I would assume so. Yeah.
And so now we're also able to add vendors, so that's been cool as our space has grown.
I think that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It really is. And so going back into the event, how long? 6 to 8 p.m.
6
so you
to
got
8.
2 hours and really just a nice evening and a relaxing one this Friday.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
What a Friday night.
Yep.
You guys
and
know what you're doing
The
here.
weather is supposed to be decent, no snow, so don't worry about any of that.
Let me give them the incentive. It's going to be 70 degrees up until Friday.
Right.
So go inside, have a nice winter event. This is a great winter event. I mean, this is perfect. You guys hit it out of the park with having a string quartet in a beautiful event space.
Right.
What I think's so cool is that you can do all of this within the Riverbend area. Because this is kind of something I'd go and expect in like St. Louis or, you know, it really is just a nice evening.
Yes, it is.
Is there a dress code or
No
anything?
dress code. It's a very casual evening.
I love that.
Yep.
Why don't we do this? We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. I do have some breaking news for you, and we'll get back to the conversation here. Chris Rhodes is the reporter on this. A push notification just came out, and we're going to transition here, and then we'll come back and get back into our conversation with Alton Symphony Orchestra. We'll do that here now. Here's your breaking news alert from RiverBender.com. Chris Rhodes reporting that one person did die when a Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck crashed into the Redmond Insurance Agency building in the 100 block of South Main Street in Edwardsville. This happened at 11 p.m. on Sunday, February the 15th. Here's what we know at the time of this posting. The crash has caused significant damage to that building as well. The Illinois State Police did confirm the death. ISP, Edwardsville Police, and SIU Police responded to this crash, but additional information has not been released at this time. Workers were busy around 9:45 a.m. That's when the picture was taken on Monday, working on the building in the aftermath of this incident. ISP said more information will be released soon about the fatal accident. We'll keep you posted at RiverBender.com/news.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit AltonElite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Damn headphones were falling off of me. 1021, welcome back. Alton Symphony Orchestra. Melissa, how's life? Back to it. Was the break fun for you too? I like the commercial break.
Yeah. got up and stretched.
Get a chance, you know. I always like chatting it up with ASO because you guys really do such a fantastic job, and I really like all the work you do. Going into this concert, this is going to be a fun one. We'll come back and wrap up with Sips and Strings,
sure.
But on February the 28th, Variations on Americana that's gonna be fun for the 250th tie-in.
Sure, yeah. Yep.
Fill me in.
So 3 p.m. Hathaway Hall, all of our concerts at Lewis and Clark. $10 for adults, $5 for kids. You can pay online on our website before, you can pay at the door, either way.
I like this.
Yep.
So fill me in on the concert. What are we going to be hearing too?
Sure. So probably number one is our Marie Stillwell Concerto Competition winner. Mm-hmm. His name's Tyler He's a senior at Clayton High School. Plays the piano. He'll be playing the Warsaw Concerto from the film Dangerous Moonlight.
Wow.
It's a very beautiful piece. He's fun to watch. He just makes it look like it's easy peasy.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Also, we're featuring the piece Lincoln Portrait. It's sponsored by Liberty Apple Orchard, and that will have a narrator. We're still working out some details on the narrator, but it's basically a piece that was written during World War II and incorporates Lincoln's speeches. So there's quotes from speeches, and we actually found out, someone on our Facebook page let us know, one of the quotes is from the Alton Lincoln Douglas debate. So that's really cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And now, with that being said, too, I like just the fact that it goes back in and ties into everything we just talked about, really, with why it's so important to support you guys. I mean, from the Marie Stillwell Concerto competition winner to, just those other variations of it. It's kind of cool that this really ties in with every bit of support.
And also on that note, so we will have 2 pieces where the 8th graders from the Youth Symphony will join us.
No kidding.
Yeah. And that's always neat because we make a point to point out who in the orchestra was also part of the Youth Symphony, so they can see where they can go if they choose to.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and like you said earlier, you guys have a real strong track record and really good musicians a part of this. And, there's a lot of great talented groups around there, but ASO really is that it's the hint of big city living, kind of with the concerts, but right here.
Right.
And I think that's why it's so cool too.
Yep. And we attract a wide audience. We have people, Carrollton come down, several people from the Edwardsville, Maryville area, even people from across the river where it would be closer to go to St. Louis, but they choose to come see us.
Who wouldn't? With that being said, adult tickets, $10.
$10, yeah.
Children's tickets are $5, and that's 18 and under.
18 and under, yep.
And then don't forget, guys, you can mark your calendar or go to altonsymphonyorchestra.org to see the concert lineup this year. April the 25th will be the next one, and that'll be fun. I like this, Pirates and Other Songs. That'll be cool to see. And all of them are at Hathaway Hall, correct?
Correct, all of our concerts.
And now, is this the only 3 p.m. show?
We had a 3 p.m. earlier this year.
Okay.
But yes, in April it'll be 7.
Perfect. Yeah. And then Shane will be there as well.
Shane will be there.
I like it. Normally he's on the show with you. We have a full studio.
Yep.
We decided today it's all good. And then you can see, like I said, the full lineup. But going back into this, I just into Simpson strings. This is all where we can come out and support. And now when we get there, is there going to be an opportunity where we can make donations on site? Can we do them online? Let's talk about
you can always do them online. If you do come, another option is you have the choice to order any wines that you like. The proceeds from those sales go back to the orchestra.
Really cool.
The vendors also will be donating a percentage back. So we're going to have jewelry, textile art, print art, home decor, crochet.
No kidding.
Yep, honey-infused products. That's the other one. So it's going to be a good selection, and they will all be donating a % of their sales back. So if you come out, please be sure to support them as well.
Absolutely. And as you see on your screen, the support tab here at altonsymphonyorchestra.org, you can click on that donate button, and it'll take you to these options.
There I am.
There you are. And you can see all these options, whether it's a one-time gift or you want to make an ongoing contributions. I know those are just fantastic. And you can see a list of donors from this last year, and I think it's fantastic that you guys highlight those, whether it's corporate or individual partners, and really just going above and beyond. I think that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. I like that. So, what are you excited about the most when it comes to the fundraiser?
Well, I do like wine, so I always
you are a wine drinker.
Tasting what he has to bring.
What type of wine drinker are you?
I like sweet.
Do you?
So he's usually got some very good sweet Moscatos that I enjoy. But he will have, like I said, there's usually 20 to 30, so anything you could possibly want, he will have.
Fantastic. And with that said, too, there's going to be some great appetizer options. How many different vendors do you have? I didn't know that before.
7.
7.
Yeah, 7 different vendors. Like I said, it spreads there's all kinds of different choices there, so.
This is going to be an awesome event.
Yes.
This is going to be a really cool one. Make sure you guys get your tickets now. And how do we do so?
You can do it online. So the Alton Symphony Orchestra.org website. $30. If you want to come pay at the door, it'll go up to $40. So
40 at the door, 30 online.
Yeah, save your money, do it online. You can also go to our Facebook page, find a link there.
Perfect. With that being said, is there anything else to talk about for now?
I think we've covered it.
Man, that was a good one. How about that? Thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you.
We will see you on the 20th of February for Sips and Strings. That's from 6 to 8 p.m. That's going to be a great night at Rustic Roots in Woods River. And then we'll see you on February the 28th. That's at 3 p.m. in Hathaway Hall at Lewis and Clark. A great concert, Variations on Americana, a lively tribute to American music. And you can find out more at Alton Symphony Orchestra and donate.
Yes.
.org.
Yes.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Welcome back. Hey, let's do this. I'm going to give you a brief update. I know Chris will have this for you. Multiple news agencies, Fox 2, I'll give the credit to, is reporting that crash in Edwardsville was the result of a police pursuit. That's what St. Louis media is reporting now. Fox 2 reporting that 2 hours ago. I'm sure we'll have that update to it as well, but just a little bit more detail for you on that building collision that left one dead. Also in the news, I wanted to fill you in here at 10:30 that Social Kitchen will host its monthly Block Party for a Good event on Friday, February the 27th. From 2 to 4 p.m. at Social Square. That's Market and 5th Street in Alton. This provides free groceries, hot chef-prepared meals, and medication, information, and assessments at no cost to the community. And by the way, it's free. No ID requirements while supplies last. The February Block Party for the Good will feature free groceries that are provided by the St. Louis Area Food Bank's Food on the Move team, free hot meals from the Social Kitchen Ag Wagon food truck featuring Chef Lasse Sorensen of Food is Love. Medical information and health evaluations will be provided as well from the professionals at OSF Healthcare. A lot of good stuff in this. Here's what retired General John Michael, founder of Social Kitchen, had to say. He said, our block party for good's more than about food. It's about dignity. It's about creating a space where neighbors can connect, where families can receive support without barriers, and where love is demonstrated through action. When we showed up for each other, we build a community that thrives. February the 27th is another opportunity to care, connect, and serve together. Block Party for Good continues to grow as a trusted monthly gathering where community members can access essential resources while experiencing hospitality and welcome in a celebratory, family-friendly atmosphere. Social Kitchen encourages residents to arrive early as grocery and meals are distributed while supplies last. For more information, you can visit socialkitchen.com or you can follow them on social media. Once again, that Block Party for a Good, 2 to 4 p.m. That'll be Friday, February the 27th. That's a great thing, especially if, maybe it's, you wouldn't call your situation dire, but you're in between paychecks and you need food. Go out there and utilize the great service that is. So the Illinois EPA office is offering $7 million in grant funding to strengthen energy resilience at publicly owned wastewater treatment plants. Through Resilient Energy for Wastewater Infrastructure's grant program, communities can access funding to assess energy vulnerabilities and implement solar energy systems paired with battery storage. Individual awards will range from $200,000 to $2 million with a match requirement for 25 or 50% based on population served and geographic location. The REWI grant program, it leverages the U.S. Department of Energy Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act funding to support Illinois' critical infrastructure. Applications will be scored competitively based on project feasibility and readiness, resiliency planning, and integration of solar and battery storage, along with benefits to environmental justice communities. Application materials are available at the Illinois EPA Office of Energy webpage. Beyond that program, the Illinois EPA is committed to investing in public wastewater storage through a number of programs. You can find out more through a press release that was submitted at RiverBender.com. And really great just for the communities around us that don't have that private option, for them to know that they can apply and how to do it. That's why we make sure those are out there and our communities can keep receiving some great grant funding that they also need. Hey, while I have you, wanted to fill you in out of Edwardsville one more time today. Edwardsville High School Robotics ended its first season in the first Robotics Decode League with a 10-5-0 record, 0 record, and the Judges' Choice Award presented at the Central South Illinois Regional Tournament, a state qualifier, after which teams switched leagues amid declining participation in its former bot ball competition. After many years competing in the bot ball league, the team moved this year to First Robotics Decode for its first ever season in a new league. The change came after participation in the former league had dwindled down so much that competing would have required traveling as far as Oklahoma. And that was since before the COVID-19 pandemic. I remember competing in bot ball, 7th grade, one of the grades. The transition was not without challenges. EHS Robotics was the only new team in the South Central South Illinois region and had a small roster and faced long-established teams that were sponsored by Caterpillar, John Deere, and Boeing, according to the provided details. The team finished 10-5-0 and won the Judges' Choice Award at the regional tournament. Photos from the team's last event receiving high fives from the judges as they accepted the award. Coaches Dan Morrissey and John Blackburn, both EHS teachers, guided the team throughout the season. And the coaches admit he was pretty hesitant to make the switch. But the students' persistence, it paid off in a big, big way. Congratulations to all of the students for their success in that robotics league season. With that being said, we'll take a quick break, but the Illinois Attorney General is offering some really interesting tips, especially around Valentine's Day, when it comes to preventing romance scams. We might know of somebody that's fallen to them. If you have, you know how it could be. We'll take a break. We're going to come back and talk about that after this.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
When you need a project done right, on budget, and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome back, 1040. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul has issued some tips and encouraged Illinoisans to be vigilant when online dating to avoid becoming a victim of romance scams. So, here's what the Attorney General is saying. Online scammers are often creating fake profiles or they pose as celebrities and may attempt to contact you via social media. You can identify a fake profile by running a reverse image search of the account's profile photo. If the search turns up different names for the same photo, or if the photo appears in multiple sources or profiles, the person probably not who they say they are. Remember that scammers may also use AI-generated images, which may not show up in a reverse search. Continue to proceed with caution if a profile displays minimal activity or history, or if it just sounds too good to be true. I'm not trying to ruin your chances of love, but it probably is. So beware of text messages or direct messages from strangers on your social media channels that attempt to lure you into a conversation. If you're randomly contacted, it is likely not a case of mistaken identity or a stranger being friendly. You're most likely being targeted for a scam. They might start off by saying, "Oh, is this such and such?" And you say, "I don't know who that is." And they go, "Oh, okay, well, my name is such and such." And they keep don't do it. So, when creating an account for online dating apps, the Attorney General is telling people to use a separate username and email address to protect your privacy. If you're using a dating app or a website, communicate only through that website or app until you feel comfortable enough about the other person's intentions. And make sure you tell a trusted friend or family member about your online relationships. It's always great to have an outside perspective in. You don't know, until you know. And, it might be that individual saying, hey, did you think about X, Y, and Z? That saves you from spending a lot of money on somebody you don't know. Avoid sharing your private information and do not share private photos with someone you meet online. That's how they could attempt to steal your identity or threaten to share sensitive information with your loved ones unless you give them money. Don't fall victim to that. It's happening all too much lately, and it's really sad. Be careful when downloading attachments or clicking links for apps, games, or websites you receive from someone you meet online. Scammers often send these links to trick you into downloading malware that lets them take over your computer or smartphone. So be careful of that. Be wary if your online love interest is avoiding meeting over video or in person. There's a good chance. And even if it's in video, be careful, as romance scammers often pretend to have bad internet connections or security issues or pretend to work intentionally or in a profession where they are unable to meet in person. It is always a red flag if someone asks you to send them money quickly. That's one of the last tips from the Attorney General. Romance scammers may ask you for a loan because of a supposed banking error, for a plane ticket to visit you, or due to needing urgent help with bills, legal expense, you name it. They may also offer you a great business opportunity that'll, quote, make you rich. If someone's asking you for money, don't do it. Just block them, don't respond, and you move on. Never share your bank account or credit card information with anyone you meet online. Do not send money, especially by wire transfer, peer-to-peer payment app, money order, gift card, or any other form. Anyone can become a victim of a romance scam, and it's one that people might joke about, but it's something that we need to take seriously, because the folks that do go through that, I have a heart for this. If you're looking for somebody just to, make your life less lonely and you're taken advantage of, I get it. And Attorney General Kwame Raoul is reminding Illinois residents there's no reason to feel embarrassment or shame. If you believe you've been a victim, people who believe they have been a victim should have all copies of communication, stop the contact with the individual, block the phone numbers, the instant messaging accounts, or email addresses used by the scammer, report the user's profile to the platform or website they're using, and report the matter immediately. Raul encourages anyone who believes they've been a victim of a romance scam to visit the Attorney General's office or call the fraud hotlines that are available on the press release that was provided and available at RiverBender.com /news. Hey, while I have you, this is a cool story. Man, my sinuses are bad today. Feel great. I just, So, what about nuclear fusion? I know nothing about it. But let me tell you this. A 12-year-old Dallas student's 4-year-long science project resulted in him becoming the youngest person ever to achieve nuclear fusion. That's incredible. His name's Aiden, a Dallas Independent School District 7th grader, said he started work on his ambitious project when he was just 8 years old. He spent 2 years studying nuclear physics concepts before building his first prototype. This is incredible. Man, Estella, you better start learning physics soon, because I want it by 6. I want you to achieve nuclear fusion. He said it took some work to ensure his mother was comfortable with his tinkering. There was some alarm bells with my mom. She was like, whoa, take a step back and tell me exactly what could go wrong and how it could go wrong and make sure it doesn't go wrong. The project concluded with Macmillan achieving nuclear fusion. We got neutrons. That's what he said. I'm kind of tearing up about it because it's hard to describe. It was an end of a long, long journey. He's now applying to Guinness World Record to be recognized as the youngest person to ever achieve nuclear fusion. It's currently held by Jackson Oswald, a Tennessee native who successfully achieved nuclear fusion just hours before his 13th birthday in 2018. That's incredible. You can see more information on this online. You can see a video of it, but nuclear fusion by 12. That's just incredible. So with that being said, before we take a quick break and we come back and do our news brief of the day, I found this story. I just think it's interesting. So UPI put together a list of some talented dogs because of just the recent Puppy Bowl, and they thought that there are some more dogs that deserve recognition too. What about surfing? There is an actual thing called dog surfing. Canines conquered the waves on Cocoa Beach for the Brevard Humane Society's 13th annual East Coast Dog Surfing Festival. Sammy the Chiweenie, a cross between a Chihuahua and a Dachshund, successfully defended his title by being named top dog in a field of 23 dogs that were in this. That's fantastic. What about a Dachshund named Jerry? He showed off something unusual by breaking a Guinness World Record, the most plastic bottle caps removed by a dog in 1 minute. 11. I just think this is crazy. And then this was pretty cool too in Connecticut. UPI again, the ones that are putting all these together for us. A dog involved in an April 2025 rescue by the Hartford Fire Department in Connecticut might have a future as a competitive climber after making his way to the roof of the house. Climbed the entire house. That's just incredible. And then an honorable mention, while he's not a dog in the strictest sense, they're still related. Canine swimmer was confirmed by Golden Gate National Recreation Area in January. They had the first coyote swim from San Francisco to Alcatraz Island. That is just absolutely incredible. It was an over a mile swim. See, even though it's not nuclear fusion, animals still do incredible things. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and give you a news brief before we wrap up this Monday. Tuesday's looking busy with Blog Talk and the National Great Rivers Museum, and we got a busy show. But getting back to it on President's Day, we knew it would be a little bit slower because people are off of work and all those good things. We hope you're getting your daily dose of local headlines and local news right here in the heart of the 618 in downtown Alton. You're listening to our daily show on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome back. 1052 Daily Show. Wanted to give Sydney Sinks another good shout out. She's doing a great job of reporting on the women of distinction. And really love the write-ups that Sydney does. And I'm going to give you one of them here real quick. As part of our news brief, the YWCA does these, and it's great to have the features here on RiverBender.com. So, Lynn Burnett has always had a fire for giving back. She's one of YWCA's 11 2026 Women of Distinction. She'll be honored at the Y's annual gala for her commitment to community, whether working in child welfare, advocating for marriage equality, or assisting in the overnight warming location. Burnett does everything she can to help others. We're always involved in something, Burnett said of herself and her wife. Burnett shared that she spent years working in child welfare in Illinois and Missouri, helping families that have been impacted by abuse or neglect. This work meant a lot to her, and she was proud to build her career around supporting kids and their caregivers. Political activism became a passion for Burnett. She and her wife were two plaintiffs in the court case that led to marriage equality in Illinois. In recent years, they have gone on to lobby politicians and protest for immigration rights and other civil rights cases. A few years ago, Burnett began working with the Owl, the overnight warming location. She started the Owl's Department Store, a free store that allows unhoused community members to access donated clothing and hygiene products. In her work with the unhoused community, Burnett has discovered that these individuals are just people, and it's easy to strike up a conversation. She encourages other people to rethink their preconceived notions about homelessness. Burnett shared that her wife was an earlier woman of distinction. Burnett never thought she'd receive the recognition herself because she is more, quote, behind the scenes, end quote. But the honor has been exciting and really cool to see that right here on RiverBender.com. Sydney Sinks doing a great job with those. Real quick, wanted to fill you in on this one too. This is from Colin Sweeney out of O'Fallon. Senior guard Michael Butler went over the 1,000 point mark on Friday, and we wanted to highlight that real quick. Congratulations. 27 points, hitting on 3 5s during the game. Edwardsville pulled out a close 51-50 win over O'Fallon in the Southwestern Conference basketball game at Panther Dome. The Tigers trailed most of the way, but rallied back in the final quarter to outscore O'Fallon 15-13 to pull out a win in that nip and tuck game. Here's what Edwardsville coach Dustin Battis had to say. O'Fallon played well, and we had to make some tough plays down the stretch to win. I thought Weller was excellent at handling the ball. Michael led us with 27 points and also hit the 1,000-point mark for his career. Micah has been very receptive to us coaching him these past 3 years and has gotten better every day. On Wednesday, the Tigers were awarded the number 1 seed in the region complex for Rock Island Sectional and will play 8th seed Quincy on February the 25th. The winner advances to the final against the winner of the 5th seeded Collinsville and 4th seeded Granite City game, who will play in the second game on February the 25th. On the 27th, the winner will move on to the sectional semifinal against the O'Fallon regional winner in a neutral site game on March the 3rd. You can stay up to date in all of the upcoming playoff basketball coverage by Colin Feeney and the team at RiverBender.com /sports. While I have you, here's a couple of more items that we are following around the Riverbend today. Make sure you download the RiverBender.com app as you can stay up to date with us. A Cahokia Heights woman is in custody after authorities say a school district employee, Cahokia School District 187 employee, received repeated telephone threats. The St. Clair County State Sheriff's Department says it was contacted at 2:30 p.m. on the 6th of February about threats made to a school at 1900 Musette Lane. Investigators identified Rochelle L. Tate as that caller, allegedly upset about a conversation the employee had with her child. Deputies say Tate threatened to shoot the employee and then called the school more than 30 additional times. She was arrested at her home without incident and later charged with felony disorderly conduct. A full recap of that story at RiverBender.com/news. The biggest story we are following today is out of Belleville. It is out of East Alton, but with a Belleville man charged in an alleged $500,000 metal theft from Wheeland. Here's what we know. He faces 5 felony charges after police say he stole more than $500,000 in brass and copper from Wheeland and East Alton. Joseph Bevenue, 44, charged February the 5th with 4 counts of theft, 2 Class 1 felonies and 2 Class 3 felonies, along with 1 Class 4 felony count of drug possession. Investigators allege that between October 1st and December 12th, Bevenue used deception to obtain 4 coils or sheets of yellow brass and 31 coils or sheets of copper. He was also accused of deceptively obtaining batteries from MH Equipment and possessing cocaine. You can see a full story on that again at RiverBender.com/news. While I have you, before I wrap up the show today, hey, wanted to fill you in on our friends at OSF Healthcare. They'll be joining us here this week, and they join us pretty much every other week. You know, at OSF, they're always about implementing change and really bringing innovation to healthcare right here to the Riverbend area. What I think is so cool about OSF is that they really are big about recognizing the great mission partners they have, the great employees of OSF Healthcare, and really how they just go above and beyond for their patients. And, you know, that's kind of what I wanted to do the next couple of weeks, is just give another big shout out to the OSF Prompt Care Office right there on Godfrey Road, next to the Godfrey Walmart. You know, OSF's great partners of the show, and I'm not just saying this because they're a, sponsor. I'm saying this from my personal experience. You guys know, this is last 2 weeks, we got just smoked with sickness. I mean, smoked. And I mean, Estella gets sick, and it was so confusing for us because we felt like we were kind of late in the game getting her into the doctor, but we were getting and kind of early because she had a fever, but it kept bouncing up and down. She didn't act any different. Everything was great. Ate, drank the same, slept a little bit of the same. She was up a lot, but when she teethes and all that, we didn't think anything of it. Come to find out, RSV. And we only found that out because we took her to OSF Prompt Care's office, their urgent care office. They're on Godfrey Road. We were going to go to another urgent care. It was going to be an 8-hour wait just to get seen. We didn't have that time, so we just went right down the road to OSF. The staff there, incredible. We had to fill out paperwork. It was the first time Estella had gone, and we were in and out within 30 minutes. We knew what we were handling, and they gave us some great advice and just took care of us every step of the way. Then after that, I got sick the following day and all last week, and then Jackie got sick on Thursday. It made for some interesting weeks at the Nasello household, but, it was just good knowing what we were dealing with and being cared for the best way possible through our friends at OSF Healthcare. Learn more at osfhealthcare.org. Coming up on the show tomorrow, we got NGREC, we got Blog Talk, we got Mary this week, we got VFW this week. We're starting to fill back up. Winter Blues getting on out of here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Until I talk to you again, try your best to stay out of jail.